Hamana.
It's a great way to start after Pod 100.
Hamana.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 101st episode.
That feels God, that's weird to say.
Of the Poorly Planned Podcast, and welcome to Season 5 of the Poorly Planned Podcast, because on iTunes, Apple Podcasts, they have like a thing, you can divide it into seasons, so I made
seasons?
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't mean anything really.
So what?
So it was
what determines a season? Is that just like
it was
25 episodes?
No, it was when we did I think the first, the end of the Poorly Planned Podcast, that was the end of Season 1. Then when we restarted, it was
that was the end of Season 2?
Yeah. That kind of thing. So I think after episode 100... Jesus. After episode 100, Season 5 begins, and we're back the 101st. It doesn't really roll off the tongue.
Yeah.
But in a nice way.
99th episode, but then
the 101st.
God. We're
weird.
Men.
Yeah.
We've really grown up.
Anyway. Enough filibustering. So, I hope you guys enjoyed episode 100. This is actually being recorded on August 30th, which is way before that episode comes out.
Yeah, but 11 days before. Yeah, we're going to assume.
It had a great reception.
The response was brilliant.
And so, now for the next... We don't know how many we're going to record today, but for the next while, they're going to be pre-recorded ones, because Friday's going off. My future is currently undecided, but I'm potentially going off.
Death or life. It's a gladiator kind of thing.
We shall see, but yeah, it's going to be pre-recorded for a bit. We'll see what happens. We're going to try to keep this going every week. No promises, though, something could come up. And why not start off the new era with a mini review spot?
New season.
So we're going to be doing mini reviews, and I think we're going to switch up the mini reviews a little bit by going... The big ones that people want to hear us talk about, we spend more time on, and then we sort of just very much speed round the little ones in between, i.e. A Beautiful Mind.
Okay, that's the one people want to hear, though. So your logic is flawed.
So we're going to be talking about today Fast and Furious 9, The Suicide Squad, What If, Cruella, Free Guy.
That's the main one, isn't it?
We're saving the best one for the end. And also, please subscribe, leave a comment, leave a follow, leave a 5-star rating, give a like, all that good stuff. So...
Let's get into it.
Should we start with something tragic?
Let's do it.
And this will be very out of date because, it's coming out September, 17th or something. But about a month ago, Jake Paul and Tyron Woodley fought, which was today for us. And a very frustrating fight to watch.
Genuinely, we met up yesterday.
Yeah.
And we're like, oh my god, if Woodley wins, this will be the most energetic pod ever.
Yeah.
We didn't discuss the possibility of him losing. I mean, and us now being down in the dumps.
Yeah. I thought he was going to lose, but... I mean, to be fair, it wasn't the worst way to lose. It was a split decision. Although he he definitely lost. Even though all the damage was from him, he didn't do anything for any of... And that's... The big problem is... In his he's lost his last 4 fights. Okay. And 3 of them, people attribute it to he just never got going. He'll just sit on the fence, and he'll wait... And then he'll never do anything.
Is he afraid to take the big chances?
Yeah, and because that's sort of his style, was sort of waiting, but then he would get them with it, and that's how he was so successful. Obviously there's a lot more.
And now he just ain't getting them.
Well, he just won't go. And then and it was giving me heavy vibes of the Colby Covington fight, where in the build-up he was that was real hatred. He was I'm gonna kill this man. I'm gonna end his life, and he just wouldn't get going. So when he was saying all this stuff about Jake Paul, he's that's on my mom. I'm gonna absolutely end him. I was like, are you though?
Are you? Really, Woodley?
And he threw 6 punches in the first round. It was go! And then he almost knocked him out.
he hit him against... And
if the ropes weren't there, down. And I was I filmed a little reaction in case something happened. I will not be putting that in. But, I literally said, I was fucking hit him! Because then he was just walking around doing the showboat. I'm just go! And he just didn't, and he let it slip away. And so, I mean... I guess it could have been kind of close, because some of the rounds, neither of them was really doing anything, and he was advancing. But I was just he could have won that fight.
Easily.
If you just... And I know it's not easy, I know, you don't want to get countered, you don't want this and that. But, at a certain point, Jake Paul looked pretty tired. He was rocked in that 4th round. Just fucking hit him, man! I was sitting on your couch eating potato chips analysis.
Yeah. I could have done that so much better.
But I mean, it was a pretty boring fight, I'm not gonna lie. It wasn't great. It was just disappointing. And I mean, because also... because I was so rooting for... Because Woodley also was, killing him in all the verbal exchanges.
No, he won all the mental games, I think, but
and it just...
the physical one, he lost.
And they might do a rematch. I don't know.
I feel like it was kind of desperate of Woodley at the end. He was like, it was kind of Conor McGregor-esque, like, rematch.
Your wife is in me DMs.
yeah, it's not good.
Fuck you. Sorry. That was just too Anyway,
So, is he gonna get the tattoo then?
He said he would. He said he will. I'm like, don't do that. Come on. Like, you're getting a tattoo of a dude whose team insulted your mother and who beat you in a fight. This is also like he was like one of the greatest welterweights of all time, and then like now he's lost to Jake Paul, and it does with your legacy a bit. You know?
It does.
And I don't know. He's sort of Jake Paul. Yeah, like he could have won. He could have won it anyway. They might do also Jake Paul versus Tommy Fury next. That'd be a pretty good fight, I think. So yeah,
let's do it.
Let's do it, Jake.
Let's get this bread, Jake.
Then just some 3 very quick ones. Been watching Better Call Saul.
Okay.
Great show, and it had, I think, at the end of season 5 or 4.
At the end of season 4.
There was like a super emotional moment with Mike and this guy. I won't spoil it, but it's
Mike and this dude.
That's not very descriptive. Mike and another human, I think.
Very emotional. It's the first time Mike's ever had another human being there.
And there's like a twist to Saul's character, how like he transitions
He's actually not
more.
called Saul.
Well, he transitions more from Jimmy to Saul. It's genuinely crazy stuff. Great show. Been watching a little bit of Love Island with the girlfriend. Speaking of great shows, I don't actually watch the show, but I watch some of the clips on YouTube.
I remember last time I came over to yours, you had 20 Love Island tabs open, each one playing a different episode.
Just all at once.
Yeah, just absorbing all the info.
I watched some clips. Or I did while I was going to keep up with the TMG podcast. Did a little Love Island special. I thought it was fun.
So what is the premise of Love Island?
It's a bunch of hot people.
Okay.
That's basically it. They gather in like a villa in Spain or something, and then they just have to live there and kiss each other and do challenges, and then drama ensues. I kept up with some of the YouTube clips, and it's fun trash stuff to watch, like people make fun of,
Yeah.
And then Rick and Morty got better.
Okay.
The season got better.
I still haven't seen past the first 3 episodes.
I think it's the 5th or maybe 8th, I don't even know, but one of the later ones, it was called like the Rick Mortless Sunshine of the Eternal Morty or something,
brilliant,
you know how they do, but it was a genuinely good episode. It was like a Rick backstory, kind of like he goes through his past. Good episode. Anyway.
Freaking love it.
And should we talk about a big one? Hand.
Fake mustache.
Yeah. So F9.
So Vin Diesel.
Spoilers for the Suicide Squad. The Suicide Squad. Again, we're very late, but we gotta talk about it.
We saw it together in the cinema.
It was a Woody's.
It was 2 Woodies in the same in-reviews episode.
Jeez.
Ever thought about that?
So hot. Jeez. I burned myself on the Woody. Anyway, it happens often when the Woody birth is too hot.
Too hot.
It's
you
just go
you did scream at the waitress the other day.
No reason. The food was perfect.
The food hadn't arrived yet. You just saw her and wanted some human contact.
I mean, the ceiling did almost collapse on us.
That was quite scary. Well, this is a really different movie as well.
Sorry, I'm mixing up my timelines. The Suicide Squad. What did you think of it?
I honestly really enjoyed.
Pretty great.
It was pretty damn good. A lot better than the previous one, I think. Which I don't even hate the previous one as much as other people say, but much better this.
It was exactly. We've previewed it multiple times, I think, in the years leading up to this, and it was exactly what I think we were both hoping.
Yeah.
It was that like kick-ass kind of Kingsman-y vibe with like, I don't know, that James Gunn rated R. It was just exactly what you think it would be watching the trailers. Yeah. So much fun. Really funny dynamics between the characters, much more than the first one, like Bloodsport and Cena.
Very good bro dynamic there.
Greatest moment in the movie is
when they're slaughtering the village.
Yeah, and they're like doing a competition. It's so darkly funny, especially I can't get over Cena sushi chopping a man.
One of the best scenes in cinema history. A sleeping man and Cena just
and and
the greatest payoff when they realized they were all freedom fighters. It's so dark.
It's so dark, and it was a very I don't know. James Gunn is just like, he's great in the, Guardians of the Galaxy type of humor, but also his darker sense of humor. It's just, it just works so well, and, like, it's beautifully, like, violent and fun and over the top.
It's beautifully violent.
The blood splatter was exquisite.
I felt it on my face almost.
Someone's gonna take that out of context. Anyway, hand.
Fake mustache.
I hit a tough spot in the pouch.
Bird. Bird.
Put it right there.
That was good.
Yeah, and I don't know, it was I like, the only thing that I can think of that I didn't particularly like was, and I mean, I talked about it in my review, like other stuff, but the Harley Quinn B story for, like, that part of the film.
Well, where she falls in love with the dude.
Confusing.
Very strange.
Like, I think it just seemed to me like, and maybe we're alone on this, but it seemed to me like a thing that was, like, in James Gunn's head that didn't really translate. Like, it was sort of meant to be like a jokey montage where, like,
I think so as well.
But I just think it didn't. It was a little confusing where it was put in the film and how it was set up. And
it was very just out of nowhere.
Yeah, and people in the cinema were like, "What? Like, is this real? Like, what's this supposed to be? Is it like her imagination or something? You know?" And so that part I think didn't hit in the same way. But everything else, and it sort of slowed the film down in that part. But everything else, the action was fantastic as well.
It really was, yeah.
Had Starro in it.
My favorite man.
Which actually weirdly worked better than I was expecting.
No, I thought it was going to be a little bit too, like, cartoonish, but it worked out pretty well.
Yeah, and, like, they had a good mix of the Suicide Squad fighting low-level villains and, like, henchmen, and then also still fighting the supernatural thing.
Yeah.
And of course there's the opening scene.
I mean, I love the opening scene, but it did kill off way more people than I thought it was gonna. I thought people were gonna die throughout the movie, whereas this one was everyone in the beginning and then a few throughout, you know?
That was a little bit of a gripe that we had, where, like, while it was fun that they, set up that premise of anyone can die, it would have been nice if that was more sprinkled throughout, instead of all at the front and then a couple at the end. But I still do like the absolute, like, butchering of, especially characters who you would think, like Captain Boomerang, you would think would maybe be in it, and in such violent fashion.
Also, one of the funniest deaths is still the detachable kid.
Yeah.
His arms getting shot as he's writhing on the ground in the background.
It was so good, and and super, super brutal, and it just, one of the things I loved most is it had that vibe of, like, this is not that important to the people involved. Like, it's this, like, group of criminals, and instead of, in the first movie, it was, like, in a boardroom with all these, like, and, like, the president's best men are there.
No, it's just like, you're on another mission, let's
and it was just, like, in this kind of office where people don't really give a shit, and they're kind of, like,
betting on their lives.
Yeah, they forget that Weasel can't swim, and, like, that was one of the funniest moments. Weasel. Like, did anyone check? I love Weasel, too.
Also, Weasel lives.
What an epic post-credit scene. Also, we didn't stay for the final post-credit scene.
Oh?
So you don't even know this, actually. Breaking news, Cena lives.
I saw this on YouTube.
Cena lives.
Because Cena's gonna have his own show.
Yeah, so Cena's
That's
alive.
awesome.
Yeah, although I also loved his last showdown with Bloodsport and the little bullet thing comes back. Ratcatcher was pretty good. Not crazy about the Waititi cameo, because it sort of really took me out of that moment.
I honestly love the Waititi cameo.
It was
so weird to see the man there.
But it was meant to be, like, emotional, and I was like, but it's Waititi. Like,
the man has no emotion. Only jokester.
Okay, I'll get to that. Oh god.
Let me just quickly make sure that the food isn't outside with us.
But I mean, some of the emotion didn't really, it wasn't
hit me
like
Jake Paul's fist.
It wasn't the most emotional film, but I thought the Ratcatcher Bloodsport stuff was sweet. King Shark was wholesome.
Honestly, King Shark, one of the more wholesome and weirdly, like, deeply emotional characters.
New dumb friends.
And then his new dumb friends start eating him, and he gets lonely again.
It's a metaphor for this podcast, I think.
No,
I thought I had a new dumb friend, but then
I ate you.
In terms of, like...
Literally. Then I literally ate your foot.
I was gonna make just a deep metaphor about, like, my life being sucked away. No, I literally ate your face. No, like, your hand... No.
Your ear? No more.
But, great fun.
Nom.
That was pretty good.
Thank you.
Great soundtrack, too. Really good film. Fun stuff. Big shark. You feel me?
I feel you.
Yeah,
I do weirdly feel you on this one. And what about Polka Dot Man?
I totally forgot about his existence. Pretty fun.
Kind of rude. I totally forgot Polka Dot Man ever lived.
I totally forgot about that character whose whole arc was about, like, being recognized and feeling not good enough.
And grinding on a person who looked like his mother to him.
Yeah, and the whole mom thing was kind of played for laughs, which was, I think, It was pretty funny. Like, it was in that James Gunn, like, weird, dark way.
Bloodsport plays on it at the end. It's your mom!
Yeah. No, good.
It's quite funny.
Good stuff. Yeah, that was fun. And, also, question.
Okay.
Is Idris supposed to be American? Because in every movie, even in... Okay, maybe not in Fast and Furious. But there are so many movies, even in The Office, that's what I was thinking of, where he's like... I think he's meant to be American, but I just hear the Britishness. Like, I'm like... I don't know.
Does he have an American accent?
He has such a weird thing.
He likes football in The Office, right? So American people don't really like football, do they? That much? I don't know.
Solved question? What would you give Suicide Squad on this?
I'll give it 6 out of 7 Cena sushi slices.
I'll give it... I believe I gave it an 8.9 nom noms out of 10 new dumb friends.
Out of 6 hands.
Out of 5 birds.
Bird.
Then, well, do you have any you want to quickly, like, rattle off? Quick
I mean, I watched Altered Carbon first season.
Oh.
Little transition with the Kinnaman.
Kinnaman's in that.
He's the star in it.
Oh, wait. Altered Carbon. Is that the one with the Mackies in?
It is.
Oh my god. A Kinnaman Mackie crossover.
Well, no. You're not going to watch it, are you? Or do you want me to?
Probably not.
Okay, can I spoil
Spoilers.
it? So, and it's not really a spoiler, because this is what I spoiled for myself and I looked it up on Google, but, basically, Kinnaman and Mackie are the same person.
Oh.
So it's a world where, like...
But one of them is Kinnaman and one of them is Mackie.
How does this work?
I don't get it.
But so, in one season, Kinnaman plays Takeshi Kovacs.
Okay.
And then in the next season, Kinnaman goes away and becomes Mackie.
Like, in the show's continuity, or is it like a recasting thing?
In the show's continuity. Because the show is basically like, your consciousness is in a little metal chip that's in your neck. So you can transfer it from body to body. So they probably lost all the Kinnaman power and funds for him. And got a B-list celebrity instead. In the form of Mackie.
What is the Mackie hate? Mackie's a legend.
Mackie's a myth!
Mackie's not real. If you had to put your consciousness chip into another person... Oh, is the food here?
Let me just quickly check. 8 minutes.
Would you put it into Mackie?
I would not. It really... I've seen the first half of the first episode of season 2 with Mackie in it, right? And I stopped because it was nowhere near as good, sadly. But
that's not Mackie's fault, to be clear.
Well, it was kind of funny.
No Mackie.
It was really funny.
I will not tolerate Mackie.
Because he gets put into Mackie's body, and then this military guy's like, "This is the best body on the market." Military upgrades and stealth and stuff like that. I just started laughing. No way! Mackie's body is the best body. Who are we kidding here?
Clearly that goes to Cheeds.
Cheeds.
Clearly Stan is the one you want to put the chip in.
I mean...
Pretty good, though. First season's good?
Really, really good. Really, really enjoyable.
Then I have I'll do another big ol' run through here. A Beautiful Mind. Do you know anything about this?
I've definitely heard of this. Who's in it?
Crow. It was
Bart.
It was, without spoiling it, I watched it in 2 parts.
Okay.
And so there's a pretty big twist about like literally halfway through. And so I stopped watching like right before that, and I was like, okay, this is a pretty fine movie, I guess. It's like it's all right. And then the twist happens. I'm like, oh. Okay, and then it gets really depressing and sad and grim.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say it gets really crazy and Crow flies or something.
No, it's about Crow is like.
Just tell me. I'm not gonna watch it.
Okay, well, spoiler alert for A Beautiful Mind. Crow, and it's based on a true story. So it starts, and like Crow is this guy who's like really good at math, and he like he's got these smarts, but he's very socially awkward.
Okay.
And so he sort of, he doesn't get bullied. Like, he gets bullied a little bit, but sort of then he gets friends. And Paul Bettany's his best friend, which is horrifying. I know. That's the twist.
The fact that Paul Bettany's allowed to talk to Crow.
And then he gets, like, recruited by the government to help them with various, like, plans and, like, set in the 60s to, like, help with the Russians and stuff. And then...
Is the twist that he's schizophrenic or something?
It is. Have you seen it?
No, I just assumed that was going to happen. It was sad and
Yeah, no, yeah, it's really, and then it turns out Paul Bettany isn't real. He's not actually going.
That's not a twist. That's just a fact that was realized too late.
Paul Bettany's just a myth in life in general. Yeah, that's not in the movie actually. That's just something I realized. Paul Bettany, all the missions he's been going on, and and it like tears apart his marriage and his like life, and it gets.
Does he not realize it's tearing apart his life and marriage?
He doesn't, but then he slowly has to like it starts to get like quite wholesome towards the end because he sort of like has to learn to live with it, and he does learn to live with it, and it goes through his life, and things get better. But there's definitely a period where it's pretty sad and, like, depressing. But a really good film, yeah. I don't think I think it won Best Picture. I don't think it's, like, the greatest movie ever, but it's really good.
Okay, good stuff, good stuff.
Then Collateral, I watched on your recommendation.
And, let's hear it.
Very good film. Very enjoyable.
Good, right? There's a little, I
Spoilers! Spoilers!
And... That should be the new spoiler warning of this podcast. For anyone new listening, they just don't get it.
And then we're like, yeah, and then Cruz dies.
And
Cruz is
silver hair,
scary man, silver hair. Jamie Foxx has enough of his shit at a certain point.
And
spoilers
shoots the shit out of Cruz.
Does he? Oh yeah, he does.
Yeah, it was like I didn't really clock the fact that Fox shot him there. I think because they shot each other, and then like. Who are we kidding? How is Cruz gonna die to Fox in a shootout?
Good point.
Right?
Big problem. Yeah, I mean, it's a little bit like, it's kind of, not a sad ending, but it's sort of like, so where does Fox go from here? Does he go to jail? Because he probably, like, did a lot of illegal stuff. But
maybe.
It's a enjoyable, kind of grimy, like, thriller sort of thing. A surprise Ruffalo is becoming like a running theme on this pod. He shows up in so much stuff. Shutter Island, I'm like, why is Ruffalo here? Suddenly there's this cop with I think it's like a mustache and a goatee. Yeah. I'm like, who is this? And I'm like, it's Ruff!
What the hell? It's Ruff!
And again, I can't unsee Ruffalo. It's always just him. But, and also, I mean,
that's a really bad characteristic for an actor to have. I just can't separate you from reality.
And I also really enjoyed, probably my favorite moment, when Fox does his Cruz impression, when he's talking to, like, the mobsters, and he suddenly just sits up and starts trying to talk like Cruz.
I don't remember this.
Remember when Cruz makes him go into, like, the club to get his stuff?
Oh, right.
And it's not going well at all, because he's just being, like, timid Jamie Foxx. And then he kind of, like, clocks that he has to start acting like Cruz. So he's like, I'll fucking murder every single one of you, or something like that. And he just, like, starts doing, like, the Cruz mannerisms. Genuinely such an incredible moment, but... Yeah, great. A really fun film. I mean, very fun, but like...
Actually, I hated it.
Actually, it was garbage. You know, I think about
the hand.
But, no, good stuff.
Have you heard I feel like I might have told you before, but have you heard the thing? There was an accident while shooting one of the scenes during this movie, and it was a bit of a wake-up call for Jamie Foxx.
Oh, shit.
Oh. It might be the food,
Yeah, I think it is.
Hi, Folly. Fit. I caught one.
All right, we're getting food, getting lunch. Mukbang Part 2? ? Anyway, while Freddy gets the food, I'll just quickly run through. I watched Guardians of the Galaxy. Still amazing. Very, very fun. I've been watching Archer. Archer's back. Good stuff. Funny. I like that they're back in the real world now, and just has some funny moments. Makes me laugh. I like it a lot. Waiting for the food. Waiting for the food. You know, now that Freddy's gone, I think I should just talk about that. He just smells, you know? Just, not bad, but just there's a distinct smell. It's kind of like how, like a raccoon that's been, like, bathing in garbage all day. Again, not bad smell, just want to put it out there. So that's, exactly how Frederick smells always, all the time. Also, he's really ugly. I don't know. I'll tell the story. We were out the other day, and the waitress came to give us our food, and she actually screamed and vomited at the same time, just looking at him. That's why the ceiling collapsed as well, because her scream was so loud from just, like... I feel bad, because, he can't control looking like such a absolute, troll, I guess you could say. It kind of looks like someone hit him in the face with a shovel that had been dipped in acid. I was just saying good things about you.
I doubt it.
You'll if you listen to the pod, you'll have a nice surprise just hearing all the compliments that I was paying you.
Oh, that's brilliant. Good for my self-esteem.
I didn't mean any of it, just for the record. All the good things. All right, how are we gonna? Should we finish this pod and then
Let's do
start
it.
it up? Okay.
Let's do it. Well, can I quickly tell you my Fox story before we move too far on?
I suppose if you have to.
So during the filming of Collateral, did you just talk about Guardians?
Yeah.
This is brilliant. Moving back to the previous one, but anyways. Then Fox and Cruise are driving, of course, and then there's a thing where it's supposed to veer off, and then the scene's supposed to or the shot's supposed to cut, and then the stuntman will be in a car that's flipped, right? But then something actually goes wrong.
Oh yeah.
And Fox and Cruise flip, and and then as the people rush in to try and save them, they're like, Fox, get the f*** out of the way, Tom, are you okay? And Fox is just sitting there like, ah.
Cruise just takes extreme priority, while Fox is like, just arm broken, just bleeding out the nose. No, that is a tragic Fox story. But good film. And then Brooklyn Nine-Nine, I'll just say, there was a Doug Judy.
Judge Judy.
Doug Judy episode. I guess since it's the last season, it's like the goodbye episode.
Okay.
Genuinely might be my favorite Doug Judy episode.
Oh, and there's been some very good ones.
It was. I mean, it's up there. It's so delightful. Their chemistry is back. It is so absolutely just nutty and fun. And
I love their chemistry. It's so good. It's
actually so good. And there's their fun appearances from various other characters, but it's mostly around Jake and Judy. Just a great time. And I won't spoil anything, but as you would probably expect from the show, very wholesome ending, you know. So get ready for that. It's a good one.
I'm excited.
Go ahead if you have any more little ones.
Sorry,
this water bottle's fucking me up.
I don't know if I have any more. You know,
it's a bit of a shout. Sorry. All right, well I can quickly.
Yeah, you go for it.
Because then F9, we have to talk super much about because we sort of went through it a bit with the Francis Ngannou cameo.
This is
spoilers.
True. Yeah.
Bird or whatever we said. Sorry.
Hand.
God, it's so weird you say bird.
What the fuck? What's wrong with you? Get real.
But I wasn't a fan personally. I wrote a big kind of not ranty video, but you know, hate-filled maybe. Okay. What I'd say.
More like it. Yeah.
But I haven't made it yet. I might make it, but it just seems so far removed now from the movie that I'm like, eh. But it was just.
I don't really care. No big deal.
It was, we talked about it, but it's sort of just taking that lack of realism beyond, like, unrealistic and fun to just, like, so impossible that nothing matters and it's, like, just boring. And also...
they tried to make a joke out of it, but it just
didn't work. And also the lack of charisma, no offense to everyone involved, but
Apart from Ludacris?
Yeah, Ludacris was kind of delightful, but he only gets, like, 2 lines. But I don't want to say you need Dwayne Johnson, but you kind of need Dwayne Johnson. I mean...
Or Statham.
Yeah, it was... Like, Vin Diesel is just, in these movies at least, just not a charismatic man.
I mean, in any movie is he charismatic? I'm sorry,
I haven't
but
seen
like
many things.
You haven't seen Xander Cage XXX?
Xander Cage the porno? No, I have not.
It's weird.
They really called that movie XXX, didn't they?
Yeah, was that with the intention and knowledge of pornography?
Does Diesel know that people have sex on camera?
He definitely does not.
So anyway, wasn't a big fan. Had its moments, i.e. Ngannou, but not crazy about that. Anyway, maybe I'll put out that video. Who knows? But yeah, I mean,
maybe I'll make some money.
It wasn't horrible, but you know, it was kind of dull. What If? I don't know if you've been watching.
I've seen the murder mystery one.
Oh, the latest episode.
Yeah, I've seen that one.
When this comes out. Yeah, the Avengers are killed, and Nick Fury, Nicholas Jackson has to figure out what's happening.
Yeah.
I would recommend the T'Challa as Star-Lord episode as well.
Okay.
That one's quite good. I really liked the first one where it's Peggy Carter becomes Captain America. I can see you maybe finding it a bit dull, because it does basically just run through...
You are the biggest Peggy Carter fanboy.
I mean...
Nerd.
Loser.
Hand.
It's just because it basically is a run through the first Captain America movie, but it's just Peggy's Captain America. And there are some changes, but that was definitely to set up this show, like to show people like what the premise is, and then they kind of go way crazier with it.
Okay.
And so like T'Challa's Star-Lord, very fun. I won't spoil it. But...
Yeah, but is he like? Does he still have all the Black Panther characteristics, or is it just like?
So it's basically, without spoiling it, like sort of. This sort of happens right away, but you see what would have happened if someone, because T'Challa's so much like just better as a guy than Peter Quill.
Okay.
So he's basically like solved most of the problems in the universe because he's just so much better and sort of.
Now is Peter Quill Black Panther?
No. And then they throw Peter Quill into Wakanda and he becomes Black Panther. That'd be strange. And it leads to there are some fun MCU cameos in there. I'll just put it out there. And I really loved how even though I like the first episode, when they start developing more, and same with the murder mystery one, they take this premise that like is weird, maybe you wouldn't think of, but even if you did think of it, then it plays it in different directions that you wouldn't expect. Like with spoiler alert for the murder mystery one, then it's Hank Pym who was doing it because his daughter died. Like, it takes it in all these different directions that you wouldn't expect. And, like, Loki shows up. And
Loki's somewhat good until he conquers the world.
Yeah. You know, how he always is. Yeah. Hiddleston just can't make up his mind. He's either good or he's kind of sort of mischievous. But, I also like hearing the voice actors. And the sound-alikes aren't that bad.
Did they get all, like, because Hiddleston is voicing
and
Hiddleston.
Jackson and...
But Black Widow wasn't voiced by Scarlett, right?
No, like Black Widow.
She's kind of boycotting them now, aren't she?
Well, I don't think it's because of that, but she's in a little bit of trouble with Disney.
Right.
Yeah, suing them for money and stuff. It's kind of usually what suing involves.
What suing is. I'll sue you for 6 donuts, sir.
And I love the animation style too. I was gonna say.
Is that the same throughout all episodes, or does it kind of like?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and what was I gonna say? Just a good time.
No, it's a delightful thing.
Shout, It's fun. They're fast paced. They're not like, it's like what is it? Anthology? Like it's sort of like they're all disconnected, but it's like a fun little thing each week.
Yeah.
I like a lot.
I like fun things.
Then well, we got one more that I can kind of go through quickly, and then we'll talk about the big boy.
The big boy. All right.
Cruella.
Yes.
It's finally free on Disney Plus, so I ended up watching it. Becomes reverse vacuum cleaner. Weird, kind of enjoyable. I'm not gonna lie.
With Emma Stone.
With Emma
Rock.
Emma Rock.
Emma Stone.
I feel like I'm the bigger asshole in this
You're
situation.
the bigger boy for not understanding that.
Emma Rock, dog.
What are you talking about?
James Pistol, you say? Yeah, it has a lot of problems. It's way too fucking long. It's bizarrely paced. It has some horrible editing at points.
Yeah.
But it's kind of weirdly really enjoyable. It's just like, I don't know. I like that it's different from, The Lion King and all these like other Disney remakes where it's kind of boring or whatever. At least it's different. Like it has like its own feel to it, its own tone.
Yeah. Is it kind of Maleficent-esque?
In a sense where it's like, hey, let's take this character who was like unequivocally evil, and it's like maybe she was that way because someone said some mean stuff to her. But I guess it works.
You have no sympathy. Maybe she had a bit of trouble.
Maybe her mother was thrown off a cliff when she was a child. I don't know.
Was she in this movie?
She was, and it is genuinely
the funniest thing.
The goofiest fucking moment in movie history. Spoiler alert. The opening scene is she's a child, and her mom is standing on this cliff, and then 3 Dalmatians run over and just topple her over the cliff. Yo, I'm finding this. It's the
what? That's so
Cruella mom death. It is the funniest fucking thing you'll ever see. And it's supposed to be like emotional.
What's going on
and it's
here?
like supposed to be like and it comes throughout the whole film, like her motivations about her mom dying and everything. And I was like, but that was the moment. But that moment was trash. Your mom's death was garbage, dude.
She should have died better, bro.
But I don't know. It has really like fun performances, I guess, and like weirdly, even though I'm not really, I mean, some could argue I'm a fashion icon, but even though I'm not particularly that,
I would argue you are.
I weirdly really like.
You're not wearing a shirt today, though.
I'm wearing camo for the record. And but even still, like I really enjoyed all the costumes. Like it's kind of about costumes. I really enjoyed like the costumes, the setting. It uses way too many songs. It's very Suicide Squad-esque. Like they just throw a song over every scene.
Okay.
But weirdly kind of enjoyable. It has a lot of problems, but I kind of really liked it. Not really liked it. I liked it.
It's like me with you. A lot of problems, but I enjoy you sometimes.
Yeah, you tolerate me. And then finally, the big boy, the dude, one might say. Thank you.
That was good.
Thanks.
That right there, that was brilliant.
Thank you. Free
Guy. Looks it up. What?
Did we see this? So, and I'm just pulling up the cast so we can remember all the, So, Free Guy. Genuinely.
A surprisingly good movie. I thought it was going to be funny, kind of generic, but I very much enjoyed it.
Yeah, I thought it might be one of those where, like, it's fun, but we laugh more at it than with it.
But we laughed with it.
We laughed with it. It was really funny.
It was quite good.
Weirdly wholesome. Like, I don't know. It wasn't like wholesome, but it, like, kind of had a good vibe to it. I just enjoyed watching it.
Yeah, it was just
fun.
You weren't like tired of it at any point. It was just good.
It was really well done and a fun time. And I mean, I think, like I said to you, I think anyone who like doesn't know, like, isn't familiar with video games would be wildly confused.
No,
like,
there's a yeah.
My mom was like, that looked kind of funny, and I was like,
you would not get it, Mom. Get out of my room.
Why are you talking to me, Mom?
I'm gaming.
Podcasting, Mom. Like, I don't know. It's just like, I feel like they would be wildly confused.
No, yeah.
But it's sort of, I mean, maybe not, but it's a really fun premise, and NPC becomes, you know, should we go spoilers from the jump? I mean, it's been out for a long time.
Yes, that's...
Alright, spoilers, hand.
Free guy.
Yes. So,
Reynolds is alive, but not.
True. That's kind of
trippy.
Kind of poignant, you know. It's something that I liked and didn't like was Reynolds. No,
of course.
I loved Reynolds. Okay, let's start with that.
Jokes.
Reynolds, so delightful.
Such a good performance.
Genuinely, such a fun dude.
Lately, he's been pulling out bangers.
And I have to say, the nuttiest scene where he's watching whatever her name is, Molotov Girl, like in slow mo doing stuff, and just the Reynolds faces.
There's so much,
so nutty. He's perfect for this character.
He's just so likable.
He's very, very likable and funny, and you know, he's over the top, but not in an annoying way. Just great. I liked Millie, Jodie Comer. Not really familiar, but I thought she was really good.
Jodie Comer, yeah, she's decent, not bad.
Guy from Stranger Things as Walter Keys McKees.
Walter Keys McKees.
We'll talk about that later.
What is that name? How do they allow that?
We did have Rod. He was really fun.
Very good. Also, yeah, also wholesome there. Like towards the end, it's like, and he's called Buddy.
Yeah, I mean, I think just the movie really, I don't know. You know, I'll talk about how I feel like maybe it could have exploited the premise a little more, but I think it did really well with utilizing the premise, and like it also even utilized it in the visual style where like it looks fake, but it works because it's a video game. Like it doesn't. It looks.
I feel like they've done it better than they did in Ready Player One, where
100%.
In Ready Player One it feels a lot like they're forcing a lot of references in and just like, oh, this is a video game. Blah, blah, blah. Here it's a bit more natural, I think. Like there's a few Easter eggs here and there, but
we'll get to those.
Not tiring.
Yeah, and I feel like it just like I never thought like any action, any visual effects like it never occurred to me that like that doesn't look like great because like some of it like if it was like a real world thing you'd be like that doesn't look great, but like it's supposed to be cartoonish because it's a video game. I don't know, that really stuck out to me as like that was they did a good job of capturing that like aesthetic, and a lot of the jokes that came from like the video game stuff was pretty funny, you know, like it wasn't, you can kind of get cringy, which I feel like they did occasionally #ninja, but we'll get to that.
We'll get to the cameos.
But like, it was, I don't know, I feel like all the gaming jokes and kind of the references and stuff, that was pretty funny.
Yeah.
And it's just like funny in general with you know, Reynolds and like, I feel like even, again, like, if they could wrap their heads around this premise, like, my mom could still, you know, she wouldn't get the video game things, but she would still find it funny. Yeah.
Well, should we talk about a guy who usually is very delightful, but kind of took away from the movie a little bit, I feel.
Yeah, are we going to get into a hateful Waititi segment?
I never thought it would happen, but Waititi genuinely...
Not good.
Not great in this. It's just not that nice.
Like, I have to say... okay.
I don't even see what he was going for.
No, it seemed, to me, honestly, it seemed like he was playing it like he was too cool for the movie, if that makes sense. Like, he was sort of trying to... He was so over the top that it seemed like he didn't, like...
want to be there.
Yeah.
Which, Waititi, you're not a great actor. Like, you don't have the...
You don't have the options for this.
Yeah, please.
But, like...
It's this or the rat catcher.
Like, it seemed like he was sort of, like, trying to just... Like, I don't know. It's hard to say, like, he was so over the top because he was phoning it in. But, like, he seemed like he was just... He was in the wrong movie, almost.
No, but I don't know what movie would be the right movie for that.
Like, the movie's very over the top, but he was just so ridiculous, and just, it seemed like he didn't want to be there, weirdly. Or maybe he wanted to be there too much. I don't know. I was not a fan at all.
But also, like, his decisions throughout the movie were just confusing. Like,
Yeah, the character wasn't great,
Nah.
but it was like, yeah, he was so...
There's a few good moments where they count down together with Mouser.
Yeah.
Mouser, and decent character, I guess.
He does have some decent
No, it
moments.
was 1, 2, 3. Get the hell back to work! I did laugh there.
That was pretty good. But I don't know, I was not a fan. Anyway, yeah, Waititi, not a fan.
No, cool coats.
Try harder. No. So
Be
weird.
better.
Just again sitting on your couch like with potato chips. No, yeah, I wasn't a huge fan.
No, not the best. Should we talk
She
about...
said good coats.
He did have nice coats.
Very true.
I just wanted to say I agree.
Should we talk some cameos? And
Let's talk
references?
cameos. Well, should we
first-
talk the cameo that didn't happen? Because throughout the movie, I just have a BHL whispering to me, this better be Markiplier. If I don't see Markiplier right now...
Okay, well, let's talk about that first. So they have gamer cameos.
Yes.
Which, first of all, worst 2-word combination you could ever have.
Gamer cameos.
And it was... Look, I don't know if there's any way to do it where it's not cringy. And I know some people would... Like, I know especially... I don't want to say younger people. I don't want to be a dick. But, like, younger people in the audience maybe would love it. And, like... But also, if you're just a fan
People
of-
who don't watch Rick and Morty might enjoy this.
if you're a fan of them, like, I guess it'd be cool. But just, no offense,
Like,
Ninja.
if we saw KSI in there, we would like.
If we saw Markiplier in there, I would like...
We would love Markiplier.
I'll be honest. I've never watched a Markiplier video in my life. I would love it so much if he had shown up there.
I feel like he's dead. Like, he doesn't do much.
What do you mean? I feel like I saw his corpse the other day.
I went to his funeral, you know.
But, and I'm not hating, but
Well,
Ninja. I don't want to say there's something inherently cringy about him.
it's so mean, but genuinely so true.
When he shows up, it's kind of like when,
You gotta cringe.
like in like YouTube Rewind. It kind of gives that vibe, you know.
It's
Just
'cause
him
he's-
as a person is just a
He's so
YouTube Rewind.
No, he's so stereotypically just.
And he's
you
done
know?
so many cringy things.
I'm not seeing enough movement.
And I mean, there's Jacksepticeye, who I don't have a personal beef with, but like,
But I do now. After this.
and
Pokimane, just kind of
Dan
like,
TDM.
yeah.
It's just like,
laser beam.
I get the point of it, like, you know, it's a gaming movie
yeah.
and it's fun cameo, but it's just there's something about, I don't know, there's
I
just
feel-
something cringy about it.
I feel like it'd be less cringy, and this is again mean, if Ninja wasn't there. Because he kind of just
Yeah.
sets the precedence that it's cringe.
And no offense, Ninja, but like, put your epic cringe though. Come on, you make $1 billion playing fucking Fortnite. Like, let's
Yeah.
get real here.
Yeah, you are cringe.
And then other cameos. First of all, Alex Trebek, weirdly like wholesome, but so weird that he was in there. Because I think we talked
Yeah.
about this. I watch like Jeopardy's kind of a family. I mean, it's a
Yeah.
family tradition for it's not just me exclusively, but like,
It's only you who have the rights to watch it.
but like, so to see Alex Trebek in there, I was like, oh my god, what the f-?
Alex.
And then well, we can also talk about Chris Evans. Chris Evans is there.
IJ, that made us laugh a lot.
That was very good.
Where he gets the America shield, and
And
then
the
that Marvel
Avengers theme?
the Avengers theme
Pretty-
plays. We're like,
pretty
what's
epic.
going on here? Like,
And a
it's quite funny.
lightsaber?
And then just Evans. What the
The Evans cameo was really delightful.
So good.
And also, I liked that the references, like those pop culture references, weren't overdone, and it was basically just one moment in the film where like they did them all. 'Cause
Yeah.
I don't really like, I don't know, this is a new genre that seems to be coming of like Ready Player One, Space Jam, where it's just like, here's a bunch of characters.
Yeah.
Just in a thing.
Have fun with it.
Like this was more kind of where it's more fun, where it's like, it's not all the time, and then it was like shocking actually that like, or like cool that he had the Captain
Yeah.
America shield.
And it was the coolest moment in cinema history when he pulled up the America shield.
Tatum also has a wonderful role where he talks
I
about
totally forgot about Tatum. Yeah, I never thought I'd see the day. Also, they've shrunk Tatum, haven't they?
probably that's kind of mean if they haven't.
But
Also,
he was-
Tatum lost a lot of muscle for this film.
But he
didn't
was smaller than Ryan Reynolds.
That's opposed to Tatum Reynolds.
He's smaller than Ryan. He's not smaller than Ryan in real life.
I don't think he's that. Is he that tall?
I think he's that tall.
Jeez.
Wait, such a Channing Tatum height. Oh, what?
Yeah.
Oh! Oh! Sorry, Channing.
Tatum is just barely taller than me.
But he's always seen as this huge dude.
Maybe that's just because I'm
How
a huge
small
dude.
is Jonah Hill?
I love the
What the
connection
hell?
there. Yeah, Tatum was genuinely delightful. He has some dance moves. He has
Yeah,
really
well,
funny moments.
In the beginning, we're like, we see him, we're like, is that Tatum? And then he does like a 360 turn in a car, and then we just both go, it's Tatum!
We shook the cinema.
And then later on,
He talks about
an ejaculate piece of clothing.
I was gonna say sock, but that's probably
Okay,
better for the pod. Yeah. No, great performance. And then
he, out of nowhere, he just starts screaming when his mom walks in. Also quite enjoyable.
Genuinely, so many funny moments. Like, I wasn't expecting to genuinely laugh this much.
Yes.
It was very good. And then also, so Tina Fey made a cameo. I missed that. Hugh Jackman was the guy she shot in the alley at the beginning. Remember that?
Didn't he have a voice changer as well?
I don't know.
That'd be such a sad Jackman cameo. No face and a voice changer.
And Dwayne Johnson as a bank robber.
I thought it said tank robber, which would be way better.
Which would be very Dwayne. And John Krasinski. This movie had Krasinski, Dwayne, Jackman, Reynolds, Tatum, and Ninja. And
which
Dan TDM.
Which makes it all very cringe.
No, it was,
And Rod.
dude, what an ultimate movie. And it had a comp. I genuinely...
I was so confused. It's like...
When we saw it on the fan page, I was like, how would that happen?
What's going on here?
And then Dude shows up.
He cumps it.
Brilliant.
He cavils it.
Brilliant stuff. Yeah, so great stuff.
Do you think that was in reference to the cump?
100% not, but...
Okay. Well, one can dream.
I will say, my only complaint with the film, and it's not really a complaint because it leads into something I was also pretty impressed with.
Taika Waititi's performance.
The real world stuff, I thought it actually did a pretty good job of setting up a comprehensible story of why, how he gets sentience, and then the stakes and why this happens. I thought that was actually pretty clever. I do think, I don't know if they spent too much time on it, but I think I would have maybe liked to see a little more of the Reynolds video game stuff.
Yeah.
I think they do a really good job of establishing it and having it be the catalyst for a lot of the stuff that happens, but maybe a little less, because Reynolds kind of stops being, I don't know if he's really the main character, but he kind of stops being the main character for a bit of the film.
Yeah, he does. I have to say, I don't really like the twist that McKees becomes elephant.
That was so bad. I didn't get that it was a twist. I was like, wasn't that what we were supposed to think?
I thought he loved her the whole time. I thought that was established pretty early on.
I thought that was a plot point. And then they were like, the reason I did it is because, I love you or something. It's like
okay.
No shit, dog. So anyway, we gotta wrap it up because we gotta fucking eat. But, Free Guy, wonderful.
Free Guy, amazing.
Really fun movie. I had a great time.
It was so good. Surprisingly good movie.
Yeah.
Oh, don't look. I've got something.
Oh.
I've got something.
Okay.
Shut it off.
Okay. Well, now it's time for
the Tom Cnews.
So you have some Tom
I have
Cnews.
some Tom Cnews.
Why do I feel like you've got Tom Cruise on your FaceTime or something? Boom! Okay. Freddie pulled out his phone.
All right. Let me tell you. Where is it? Here we go.
Some Cnewsery question? Go ahead.
This is I'll start this off by saying this is the continuation of the UK cruise trip,
but need a theme for that.
But it takes a sad and dark twist. Not sad and dark, but surprising twist, we'll say.
Okay.
Tom Cruise's €100,000 BMW containing his luggage is stolen in Birmingham.
Sorry, I'm not laughing.
And this is posted on Lad Bible. This is proper news.
I'm not laughing at Cruise's possessions being stolen, but just the way you read that as as a news reporter holding up a wanted poster has been stolen in Birmingham.
The BMW X7 was reportedly parked at a Birmingham hotel when the robbery took place in the early hours of Wednesday morning. But according to the police statement, the thieves are believed to have used a scanner to clone the car's keyless ignition fob ahead of making a quick getaway with the luxury vehicle. Jeez. This is a proper Mission Impossible thing that happened to Cruise.
What the hell?
They cloned his
key fob. They cloned his Willy. Also, I love the idea.
What?
You said hog. I love the idea that Cruise opens opens his car with his penis.
He cloned his Willy.
He just
That's how he opens his car. He slaps it against the car, and he goes, "DNA recognized."
He just prods it gently.
He nuzzles the car with it.
Okay, this is going way too far. Anyway, that's crazy. What the hell?
Right?
Who would dare?
Who? Hand.
Like, imagine Cruise catches you. You know the things he would do to you?
I imagine the most terrifying thing, as they're driving away, they just see Cruise sprinting fast in the car.
He just smiles at them. He runs past them.
He thinks it's a race?
That's crazy. Well,
Right?
I'm sure he'll get it back, but who? It must have been an inside job if they could clone the hog or whatever.
But they clone the Willy. It's
clone the thing.
right.
Madness. So Cruise, we hope you get your stuff back. But that is
I think
crazy.
apparently the car was found, but I don't know. I don't know if
All
the stuff was. Yeah.
Well, that is insane. Well,
Yeah.
It's been a while. I mean, I don't want to celebrate as if like it's a good thing, but it has been a while since we had some
Yes.
news. No, yeah, we hope you get your stuff back. Cruise tragedy, but craziness. Well, now
Cruise
it's time.
tragedy.
Cruise tragedy.
Yeah.
Yep. Now it's time for the announcements and such, which will have been 3 weeks since we did one, so we're gonna have a lot of announcements.
Yeah.
So take it away, us talking, I guess, across the seas.
Ooh.
Crazy.
Yes.
And we're back for the announcements and such segment. I got Freddie over in Scotland. I put him there.
Ooh. But is it? I sent him in a package. Royal Mail.
Yeah, we're back for some announcements and such. And it actually,
Again, still keeping up the good
yeah,
quality.
look at that. God, can we get some praise? Can we get some clapping emojis in the comments? And we do have, I hate to inform you of this, because I know your least favorite segment is the announcements and such, but we do have a ton of announcements and such this week, because we have in fact missed 3 weeks of content because of,
3
Pod
weeks.
100.
Got that.
I'm also joking. We both love the announcements and such. So, let's just dive into this. First of all, Movie Guy sent in an email, which he accepted his failures as a predictor of things, because a while back he had done an algorithmic calculation for when Pod 100 would come out, and
Okay.
he had deduced that it would be in 2026, I believe, based on the
What?
consistency of our upload schedule, and also
God.
I think just
we
us
proved him
becoming
wrong.
adults. Well, yeah, and so he said, "Oh, you are so sad because you made Paul 100." No, he didn't do that, but he did accept the loss, and he should never underestimate us ever again. So
We literally beat his planning by 5 years.
we beat math essentially. So
we actually broke the laws of the universe just then. And that's what the power of podding can do.
Movie Boy 2011, who is now becoming consistently the producer of these, made Pod 100 out of context. So, very delightful.
His sole job, and his entire existence is based around this.
So, I'll put that in here now.
The Dapper's Boys. This is a proper news segment.
No. Oh, number 11's really struggling, isn't he? And I started crying.
Alright, come on.
A little bit. If I ever see it again, you're fucking gone. Why are we filming in the rain? Who knows? Not our fault. Specifically put it in here for brownie points with my girlfriend.
The Laugh Out Loud 4-movie collection. This is the biggest lie I've ever seen. And coolest dude, totally not a pervert. Oh, the BHL booty shot. Dude.
Oh, he's definitely bigger. It's come time where the family is not a big fan of Brett Dalton anymore. To the 100th episode of the Borderline Podcast. What's up, Huts? Alright, no, never mind. Ooh, my dude. It's the police. So thank you, Movie Boy 2011. Made me laugh very hard. I love these out of context things. Speaking of Pod 100, I mean, there's going to be a lot of Pod 100 stuff here, obviously, but first of all, on the, let me just address the nation on the debacle that occurred with
right.
the
the nationwide shutdown that happened.
the situation, one might call it, where Pod 100 for whatever reason stopped working. Just
Can I just say? It's very fitting that it happened to Pod 100, isn't it?
If we're being honest, it all went way too well. I mean, the filming went way too well. The recording, the editing, everything went perfectly. I was like, this is so not poorly planned. And then, of course, after it goes up, a YouTube glitch that I've never seen before occurs. And I'm just like, yeah, this would happen.
Yeah, this makes sense.
I think maybe it's because I tried to edit something in YouTube's editor, but that shouldn't. Anyway, shout out to YouTube. They helped me get it fixed. But yeah, just strange, and sorry about that, but it's back up to its original form now, and at least, the premiere went perfectly, and it was up for a little while after that.
It was up for like a good, I think it was 2 days it was up for.
Yeah.
And then
before the crash came.
Before the Wall Street broke. There was like a day where it wasn't good enough.
Yeah,
where the quality lacked.
I was
and then, now it's back.
God, I was very frustrated. I was like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. But it's back now, so that's good. Yeah, so thanks YouTube for helping out with that.
Can I ask, did you remove the comments that said that it wasn't working?
No, I didn't. I don't know where those went. There's still one, but either YouTube deleted them or someone else, or they deleted them themselves. I mean, I don't know why YouTube would delete them, but maybe they were like, oh, we fixed it. We fixed it, guys. We fixed it.
All right, well, I'm going to report Sean Grant for still having it up there.
Then I also want to say, just real quick, shout out to Movie Guy for remembering that we said in episode 10 the Thwilms thing, because I didn't say that in Pod 100. So shout out Movie Guy for remembering that, because that is a good memory right there. And then
I tell you, I feel like the fans remember way more than we actually do about this entire thing.
Oh, almost certainly. Then
it's all blur.
We're not gonna go through all the comments, but just the comments on, firstly, my Instagram post with the trailer for Pod 100, and the Pod 100 trailer on YouTube, and Pod 100, just absolutely delightful. We'll go through some of the comments, but just all in all the really nice messages, and like there were a lot about like how much the pod has meant to people over the past 4 years, and how much it's made them laugh, and how much they enjoyed the episode, and just tons of really wholesome, great stuff. Just want to say thank you so much. The response was amazing. People really enjoyed the episode.
It means a lot. Yeah,
we
joke a
awesome.
bunch, but like, it's so wholesome.
Yeah. So thank you guys for that. And now, just a few comments that I've pulled here. Firstly, on Pod 99, way back in the day.
Oh right. Oh my God. That feels like ages ago.
Connor said, as a huge fan of Brooklyn Nine-Nine, this is the perfect video to upload before my birthday. So that was several weeks ago, but happy birthday, Connor. Just a little late. Anson Hartzler says, my parents also know about the pod. My dad randomly told me one day that he listened to an episode once, which was kind of surprising.
Surprising he dared listen to such shit.
So yeah, I guess shout out to all the dads listening. What's up? How does it...
Can we get a comment if you're a dad, please?
Can we get hashtag dad gang going? Any
get
dilfs
hashtag dadders going in the any dilfs out there?
I'll probably cut that out. Anyway, but cool.
I've noticed that lately you say you're gonna cut stuff out, or I ask you to cut stuff out and you leave it in.
Yeah,
I noticed in Pod 100.
I can't be bothered.
I said, I feel like I said something very cringy. I said, please cut that out, and you say, I won't, and you look to the camera and it's still in there. And I hate it.
There's a moment like that in this pod, actually, the one that's this announcement is going in. So I'm sure you'll really enjoy that. But yeah, so shout out to your dad, Anson Hartzler. GC Green.
Such a weird sentence.
Speaking of which, GC Green, one truth and one lie. You decide. 1, my dad does not actually listen to the podcast. He's just aware that I make fan art quite often. Or 2, every single night at dinner, I blast the podcast until every single family member has cleaned their plate. So, I'm going to hope number 2 is correct.
If not, you're doing it wrong.
Yeah, because that's how the pod is meant to be listened. Yeah, but shout out GC Green's dad as well. Get a lot of dad talk this episode. Kind of made it awkward by putting the word DILF in the conversation, but we'll just not talk about that. Movie Guy says, this was on the Pod 100 trailer. He Yeah, okay, we don't have enough time to... It sounds really rude. Yeah, okay, I'm not going to read this. No, we don't have enough time to go through all of it. But he just left a very nice comment. My hype for this episode is through the moon. The pod means so much. Just one of those really wholesome, nice comments. And he was just very excited for Paul 100. So thank you. And just, thanks to everyone in general for that again. Also, big announcement here. Not big announcement, but just thing that I discovered in that comment. Apparently, we have a Clips channel. And... What? I'm confused by it. I like it, I think, but
I hope
it perplexes me because the comments seem to insinuate that it was us who run it. We don't, for the record. Never. That's not my channel. We've not made that. Might be you, but it's not me. And
is that on YouTube?
Yeah, if you just search Boiler Plan Podcast Clips, it's there. Now, when I first saw it, I thought it was just someone just like cutting out clips and putting on their channel, and I was like, okay, I mean, it's not the worst thing you could do.
I don't love it, but yeah.
but whatever. But then it's actually, if you look at it, there are like actual pod videos that are like edited, and like so someone's actually like edited pod clips, which in that case that's great. Feel free to do that. That's really cool. So
I feel like I've seen this posted on something before. I don't know.
Well, so I mean, if the Poorly Planned Podcast Clips guy, if you can leave a comment just saying, what your deal is,
what the is up, bro?
Not in that way, then that'd be cool. Because I mean, I like a tentative shout out because I just looked at it very briefly, so I don't know if I can give a full shout out. But from what I saw very briefly, it seems cool.
He doesn't get the full BHL confirmation here,
but it seems cool.
One.
It seems like a really cool thing of like pod videos and stuff. And there was one about Smaug, which made me laugh quite a lot. So we will give happily a big ol' shout out. If you can just I don't know. I actually, what am I asking for? I mean, you could just. I assume you're a fan of the
what
pod.
do I want here?
But like
it'd be weird if it's like a hate edit.
I think I'm just maybe like I'm thinking like, is it Cian? Is it like is it one of you people who we know, like Cian or Movie Guy or something, or is it just like another fan? Just you can just let us know.
Like we might be really just really offensive right now. They've told us in the past, and now we've just completely forgotten about.
That's also
them.
what I'm thinking. Because I'm like, because Cian's made pod video edits, but I don't know. Anyway, so let us know if you're Cian, and if not, just say like, hey, I'm a fan. I just like making things. It's cool. Say that word for word.
I just like making things and such. Yeah, boy.
I don't even know what I'm saying anymore. But cool stuff. So partial shout out, potential full shout out coming soon if we deem it necessary.
I love this suspense you're building.
Anyway, on Pod 100, Movie Guy said the best episode yet. Honestly, so happy that you both created this podcast. Best thing that has come out on the internet. Suck it, Key and Peele. So I included that because the Key and Peele hate. No offense, Key and Peele, but we love you. Michael Scarn said, how is it that an amateur video showcasing the destruction of a cardboard cutout uses slow motion better than most Hollywood action films? Couldn't tell you, but it's probably because we're geniuses.
Because we're freaking brilliant. # partial shout out.
Cal W says, I never realized how tall Freddy is, or maybe BHL is just 4 feet tall. I don't know. Just to be clear, I am 6 feet tall. I want to be very, very clear about that.
I don't know. I don't know.
I don't buy it.
It sounds fake.
But Freddy is unfortunately very tall. One might call him a freak who is not capable of being loved.
Don't turn this around on me.
And then finally, for the comments, I just want to say, and this is, look, okay, it's going to be, you may mock me for this, for maybe sounding a little lame, but shame on you, because it's great. But GC Green left a very, and there are tons of wholesome comments in the pod, and we appreciate them very much. And GC Green left a very wholesome comment on Pod 100 that I'm not gonna lie, it didn't quite draw a BHL tear. I wouldn't go that far.
But it did get a full send shout out.
No, but like it genuinely made me like kind of, I don't know, like no, I didn't tear up or anything, but it was about like, I mean, what the pod has meant to him. And also there's a thing in there, let me just see if I can pull it up, about, like, he's mentioned before how he started like jogging to the podcast to get in shape, and he said, today I ran a cross-country race. I placed 21st out of 150 to 200 runners my age. I broke my 5K record today. As well. Yeah, and it was really nice to look back at where I was a couple years ago, struggling down my road, listening to two dudes discussing the mobility of Michael Keaton's Batman costume, cramping up with laughter. After today's race, I immediately started watching the 100th episode as a celebration, and it was everything I wanted. So I don't know, the whole, and you can read the whole comment. It's very, very sweet.
No, I'm reading it right now. It is very, very sweet.
And it's just like, and yeah.
I don't know why I would shame you for this. I'd be such an asshole if I shamed you for liking this.
Because you're usually like, oh, you got emotional about something, nerd. That's usually our dynamic on the pod.
Right. Me just putting you down. And toying with your emotional weaknesses.
But I thought that was a really sweet comment. And it also just made me think, because various podcasts and entertainment have helped me, and I'm sure you can think of some as well, like with similar things. It's just very cool. So thank you for the comment, GC, and all the comments in general. Also, speaking of GC Green, because on Pod 100 we were giving advice for high school, for the hardest year of high school, and there was a thing that I wanted to say that I forgot to say, so I thought I'd just throw it in here for the GC Green High School Advice, which is our new most famous segment. But
GC Green High School Advice. It's got a ring to it.
I wanted to say, because like we talked about like organizing and all that, and I also just wanted to say, like probably the most important thing is like prioritizing and being able to sacrifice stuff, like even as fun and as important as it is, like content creation, for example. Like that's great, but if you have to choose between like social stuff, doing schoolwork, and sleeping, and then like you can't fit content in there, like that's okay. You have to
definitely make space for the content.
You have to know when to what to prioritize and when to push off certain things, and what's okay to deprioritize. And then when you have more time, you can work on it. Anyway, just the main thing is to try to be relaxed and be happy while still doing well in school, and make time for yourself. And anyway, that's just what I wanted to put out there. Make time for yourself, and prioritize, and it'll all be good. Anyway, that's the end. That's the first and last episode of GC Green High School Advice.
Because you never made it past the first day.
I just want to say real quick, in the Pod 100 description, I did mention this, but there are a bunch of segments from the pod that will hopefully be coming out soon, over the course of the next few months. Various things that couldn't be included, and extended versions of some segments, including Ben and Fred watch the first episode of Beastars, maybe a little gaming content.
I'm so excited for it. I think we'll have to make new gaming content.
Yeah, the gaming content's trash. Maybe I'll just throw that out. We played PUBG Mobile, and it was pretty garbage. But
it was rough. We have been good.
But not that
one
day.
of the times.
And various things, couldn't make it in for whatever reason. And there was something I was gonna say as well.
Start screaming.
What was I gonna say? I can't remember. Well,
it's
anyway.
We'll throw it in the next pod.
Genuinely, I'll just throw in the announcements and such when I remember. Anyway, then here's something cool. How we can see on this website, which I still have not verified if it's like legit or not, how the podcast is doing on like Apple Podcasts.
Oh yeah,
we are the number 48 podcast in Denmark in film reviews, in TV and film film reviews. 48, and genuinely, if you go, and I
thought we were like 200 the other day.
We're 248 in Australia and 237 in the United Kingdom and 93 in Canada in the category. But if you go on Apple Podcasts right now on your phone, you're not in Denmark, but if you were, you would see, if you go to the film reviews section, it's not on the chart, so because the chart is only for TV and film, but in the film reviews section, the Poorly Planned Podcast is there. It's in
what?
It's visible. So I assume that's not just so because cool. I already have it saved, because it's sort of like a little bit down. So anyway, again, I don't know about the site so much, rephonic.com, but anyway, it seems to be kind of legit, so
that's so weird and cool. What the hell?
Oh, and we can see even more. So we're 207 in Denmark in TV and film. We're number 48 in TV and film reviews specifically. Anyway, I just thought that was cool.
Nice.
Then, last but not least, of course, we do have the fan page stuff. And, I mean, I will be honest, it's been 3 weeks, so I've definitely missed something here. And yeah, maybe in the future, like in terms of comments and fan page stuff, we won't be able to go over everything. But we'll just like...
We're obviously becoming a pretty large channel.
But, the highlights. But anyway, I've tried to pick out stuff, but sorry if I've missed out some things. Go follow the fan page yourself. You ungrateful bastards.
You lazy pieces of shit.
No. Anyway, first thing I have here, there was a Woody's spotting from, I believe, Green Griff, which is Woody's extermination, and there's a little rat next to it, which is very fitting for Woody's.
Genuinely, the best sentence ever. I believe Green Griff, a Woody spotting?
Out in the wild? Also, did you not comment on this? You were like, a Woody portable variant or something, which is just genuinely horrendous.
Did I? I don't remember.
Then
Let me see.
there's an excellent Photoshop job. Tom of the Dead. Ever felt like you were surrounded by Tom Cruise? And it's just Shaun of the Dead, but I'm Shaun, and Tom Cruise is all of the zombies. So, just genuinely incredible. We have Stash. Now, I've saved these pictures, but I don't really have the context of, like, the caption in front of me, so I don't really know what this means. But it's just a picture of Mark Wahlberg, Henry Cavill, Taron Egerton, and
I think
fake mustache. So
I think it's because we're talking about fake mustache in episode 98. Because he puts a little episode 98 from where the thing's from, I think, now.
There we go. Well, yeah, I don't have the caption in front of me. And in a similar vein, we have Bird featuring Fidalgard, Mickey Rourke, and Nanaue. Just a film I would watch personally.
Yeah. Bird.
We have Drake meme saying no thank you to the Spider-Man trailer, but yes thank you to the Pod 100 trailer. Speaking of which, by the way, shout out to this Pod 100 logo. I tried to do this on the actual thumbnail, it didn't work on the thumbnail, but with our logo as the 0. Very nice work.
Yeah.
And yeah, way more important trailer than No Way Home, if I do say so myself.
Yeah, obviously.
Speaking of which, also, this is one of the best memes I think I've ever seen. It's from the Suicide Squad, and it's no one likes to show off unless what they're showing off is dope as fuck. And it shows the Pod 100 trailer.
Which is so good.
Very good.
It made me laugh. And it is also just such a sweet one as well.
Yeah, it's very wholesome. And if you use a Cena meme, that's a top tier meme already. Brett Dalton's agent hearing about the podcast. Brett Dalton's agent watching episode 100. This made me laugh so hard.
Good.
Oh my god. There was the fan art that he put out before Pod 100, Cian, with tons of references on here. I mean, I can't even go over all of them, but we have Mark Ruffalo's...
I don't remember anything.
Mark Ruffalo's nuttiness. We have Dwayne, which is a rock. We have
Anime Hour. We've got Hand.
We've got a dead Olaf, which just brutally. Hello, I'm the friend I like more than you. You seen?
We've also got a pile of rocks that says D Wayne.
We do. The glasses from episode 50. Cans empty. A lot of. Oh my god,
the glasses have really left an impact.
Yeah.
I should bring those back.
UFC 259. So try to go through this and find all the references. That's a bingo. We have a crow. Hashtag
We've got a
bored.
crawdaddy.
I see. And what is this guy saying? That's a bit of a shout, That's in there. So anyway, excellent fan art. Very good stuff. Yeah, there are lots of references in here. Lots of deep cuts. There was something specifically I wanted to say.
There's... Wait, have you... Yeah, no, you already talked about the Tom of the Dead one. Very
I did.
Good.
Thank you so much, Cian. Tremendous stuff there. We have this one. Again, no context, but it made me laugh extremely hard. BHL Hudson, The Muppet Man. It's just a picture of me over Kermit the Frog. It also makes me laugh because it's a picture of me with my little scraggly beard, which does very much make me the Muppet Man. And then there's this Francis Ngannou meme from the Suicide Squad. There's a meme about episode 39. There's so many good memes. Go follow the fan page. So thank you, Cian, for that. That was great stuff. Also, Pierce even posted a meme, if you can believe it. It wasn't a meme, it was just more of a celebration of Yassine's appearance in Pod 100. Arguably the least important part of Pod 100.
Jay, man does not post for a while, and then out of nowhere he sees Yancine, and then decides to post again. I also love the fact that the chat in this picture just says, Lele. So, it's not the same person.
Pierce is 100, like, Yassine's biggest fan? Question mark?
I think so.
But no, thank you, Pierce. So, the fan pages are linked down below. Great stuff. Thank you, Pierce and Cian.
Pierce.
Also, there's the Poorly Planned TikTok run by Cian. Check that out, link down below. And finally, the podcast is on Apple Podcasts and Spotify if you want to check those out. Links down below. And if you're listening there, go watch on YouTube and listen on YouTube. The Poorly Planned Podcast. Right. Leave us a like, comment about what we talked about, subscribe, notifications, leave us a 5-star rating on the various platforms. Good stuff. Back to the pod. Well, I can't believe that they found Tom Cruise's car.
And the real Tom Cruise's head was inside. It's a clone.
Oh.
Or an imposter.
Among Us, question mark?
My boy acting sussy? Please cut this out.
We start with, 5 minutes ago, and Ninja's so cringe. And you go, my boy acting sussy. Well, thank you very much for listening. You can find me on YouTube, BHL Hudson, Instagram, Twitter, BHL_Hudson. You can email the pod at bhlhudsonvids@gmail.com.
You can find me on Twitter at FTK_DaltSniper. You can find me on YouTube at FTK_Gaming and on Instagram at FDalgard.
Thank you very much for listening, and we will see you next time.
Ninja!
God, I am so hungry.